Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Chelsea news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all of that good stuff. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And before we dive into today's video, just want to give a quick shout out to Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Guys, use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off your Chelsea kits and free shipping. Link in the description. You can obviously get names, numbers, different badges on the side, whatever you're looking for. Link in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. And I obviously got my hands on this season's away kit, and you can do exactly the same yourself. Make sure you check it out, guys. Link in the description. Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. And let's dive into today's video. There are a few bits of news to go through. Obviously, Chelsea not playing over the weekend. Quite nice to have a little bit of a break. And now we've got a run of 4 games between the international break. So important for us to take full advantage, get the results that we need, go through against Copenhagen, beat Leicester, and try and get a result against Arsenal before hopefully we have some key players returning after the international break. But let's start off with the latest update on the future of Joao Felix. And obviously left in January to go to AC Milan, started reasonably well, scoring on his debut in the Italian Cup against Roma. Safe to say things have surprisingly taken a turn for the worse for Felix in Milan. He was dropped for the game on Sunday night against Lazio. Milan lost 2-1. Milan struggling down in 8th or 9th in Serie A, facing a difficult task to qualify for the Champions League. And lo and behold, Felix is now coming in for criticism from the press. They're not impressed with his performances, and he's yet to score a goal in Serie A this season. Where have we heard this before? Guys, what did I tell you about this guy? People were getting on to me all summer. I said, we shouldn't have signed him. We didn't need to sign him. The guy is, the reality of him is far worse than the actual idea of him in the first place. The guy's useless. He does absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he scored 1 Premier League goal in the first half of the season. And you've got people going, oh my God, he's amazing. He does this and that. He does a few turns, or he's pleasing on the eye. The guy, when it boils down to it, is useless. I don't care how much talent he's got. He never produces anything on the pitch wherever he is. And Romano has now provided another update on Felix, and it's pretty bleak for Chelsea. It looks like we're going to have a big problem come the summer trying to get rid of this guy. Who could have foreseen that being a problem for Chelsea? Imagine my shock when I saw this update. The current feeling is AC Milan will not continue with Joao Felix. Internally, it has not been what they expected. It's really difficult for Milan, not only down to Joao. Let's wait for the new direction, but they can't imagine going to Chelsea and paying 40 to 45 million euros. That's already a significant drop on what we paid. We paid 45 million pounds for him, and he signed a 7-year contract 7-8 months ago. They're already talking about 40 to 45 million euros, which is a drop on what we paid already. So we're going to take a loss on Felix. And this is just an absolute disaster, but entirely predictable. When you look at Joao Felix's career to date, when you look at the way that he's never settled anywhere at any clubs, when you look at the way where no clubs have actually really wanted him in the long term, no one can seem to get the best out of him. He seems to be a constant issue wherever he goes. I'm not suggesting it's all his fault, but it's largely down to him. Obviously, his agent, Jorge Mendes, doesn't help the situation. But ultimately, Felix has done nothing to progress his career since leaving Benfica, where he was, touted as one of the most exciting players in European football at the time. And he's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. Struggled at Barcelona. He struggled at Chelsea. He's struggling at Milan now. No one wants him, and he's just becoming a massive problem. And Chelsea have got a big issue in the summer now of how we're going to get rid of this guy. There's no future for him at the club. I think that's pretty clear in my opinion. And we're going to probably have to try and find a creative way to get rid of him. Maybe he goes out on loan again somewhere else with an obligation or an option to buy or something like that. Or, Chelsea have been linked with Rafael Leao in recent weeks again. I'm not really sure if that's the type of player that we're looking for. Left winger, has got an eye for goal, but again, very inconsistent. Maybe if Chelsea are serious about that, Milan miss out on the Champions League, which is looking like they will. They're going to be forced, according to reports, to listen to offers for 1 or 2 of their star players. Leao falls into that category. Maybe Chelsea can do some sort of deal involving Felix with Leao coming the other way, although these types of deal always get mentioned. They never happen, but maybe that could potentially be a possibility. Chelsea were linked to Tijani Reinders over the weekend, even though he's expected to extend his contract at Milan. But again, it goes back to them missing out on Champions League football. They might have to be forced to sell one or two of their stars. Reinders falls into that category, although I would question why Chelsea need yet another midfield player. I know Reinders is perhaps more attack-minded, but where would he fit in? Would he swap being a regular at AC Milan to come and be a potential bit part player at Chelsea? I'm a little bit unsure of that. But this Felix deal just sums up how shambolic at times this recruitment process has been. There was no need to sign him, absolutely no need whatsoever. And we just where, a lot of people get frustrated with the football club. A lot of people saw this coming. Why did we do this? I mean, there's no point going back on it now. It's done. It's happened. We've got to find a way out of it. But why? Why? It would be my question. We all knew this was going to end like this. This was never going to be some fairy tale and Felix was going to really settle in London. He's going to be a really important player for Chelsea. Everyone saw this coming. And yet there's still going to be people that are going to be surprised by this latest news. I mean, Felix is the problem wherever he goes, and we just got to get rid and move on from him as soon as possible. In terms of other Chelsea updates, guys, obviously we know that we agreed a €15 million deal for Denner, the 17-year-old South American fullback. He'll join in 2026 when he turns 18. Chelsea is still pushing for Gabriel Mek, the 16-year-old attacking midfield sensation from Gremio. Let's wait and see what happens with that. But there's also been an update on how Chelsea and Enzo Maresca Chelsea and the players feel about Enzo Maresca right now. Fabrizio Romano provided an exclusive update in his column for Give Me Sport, and he had some interesting things to say. Owners, directors and players are believed to trust the manager, see the potential for Chelsea's future, but also for Maresca to improve as a coach and become one of the very best in the industry. The start was excellent, and the first few months of 2025 made it complicated, but sources at Chelsea insist on this point. Maresca is untouchable, a key part of the project with the club. Very happy to continue with him, no matter what happens in the final months. Now, I don't know if anybody should be viewed as untouchable, but I do agree with the sentiment to a certain extent that whatever happens, providing we don't get relegated, Chelsea do need to stick with the manager. Chelsea do need to back a manager through the difficult times, and we can't afford to just keep starting again, tearing everything up, and discarding managers every 12 to 18 months. That's not working. That's not going to be a way to progress the project forward. But it's dangerous to sort of give people untouchable status when they haven't really earned it. Maresca's not earned that right yet. He needs to make Champions League football. But at the same time, if he doesn't and he misses out, then, it's important Chelsea hold their nerve and stick to their word on this, because we don't want to be going for another managerial change. I know there's people that don't like Maresca. I know there's people that think, we can go and get someone better. They obviously don't know this football club. If it was a guarantee that Chelsea would appoint an elite proven level manager, then I wouldn't have an issue with Maresca going. If the only way for the sporting directors to go was for Maresca to go, I'd reluctantly accept that trade-off. But people need to be careful what they wish for in this scenario, because we know that Maresca gets sacked, these directors will stay, and the shortlist, you dread to think what's going to be on there. So, look, it's important that Chelsea back this manager, but again, we've had backing for managers previously, and then, results will dictate what happens at the end of the day. That's the reality of this. You can be happy with someone, you can say they're untouchable, but ultimately it's a results-driven business, and we cannot afford to be on the receiving end of poor results, missing out on Champions League football, and these things, and the managers just get away scot-free. Now, this Maresca should absolutely be here next season, in my opinion, whatever happens. We need to build with him. We need to continue this work and see where it takes us. But at the same time, if we miss out on, if we get Europa League, or we, dare I say it, we qualify for the Conference League again, although if we win the Conference League, that won't actually matter because we'll be in the Europa League anyway. You've got to show signs of progressing. We've got to be improving year on year. We need to finish higher than we did last season. We need to try and add a trophy, which we didn't have last season. We need to make year on year progression. So it's all very well saying Maresca's untouchable and a key part of the project. Sure, he is right now, but results will dictate whether he's going to be an important part of this project going forwards or not. Obviously, I think the players do like him. I know at times it's like they're not playing for him, but I do believe they are fully behind him. I don't believe that he's lost the dressing room like some people have suggested. And it's now time for this group to get together train hard, get their heads down, and produce the goods on the pitch, and not let this manager down. Don't let another manager become the fall guy for the incompetencies in the boardroom and at sporting director level. But these players have to step up. You know, it's not all on them, but they obviously are the ones out there performing, and they need to take responsibility and perform to a better level and a higher level, and ensure that this football club doesn't miss out on Champions League football again. But I'm absolutely behind this manager. I absolutely support this manager. Yes, he's got to do better, but I'm under no illusion that a managerial change is the last thing Chelsea need, unless it happens in those two unlikely circumstances that I mentioned. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all of that good stuff. I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.